Hello and welcome to the Championship Round-Up show with myself and, well, just one of us this week. All of us are on holiday, so I'll introduce my guest. I hope he's never done that, by the way, falling off the bike. But it's Mad Hatter himself, Marky Mark. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? And yes, I have done that, by the way.
Hello, is that working?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry about that. My headset fell out. You've done that?
Yeah, I've come off.
Sucked on it. Wow. I hope it isn't as bad as that then.
No, I'm still here to tell a tale, and I think the bike survived. So
No, I mean as silly as this one, where it's just
no,
like
not as silly as that.
No. So football season's back.
Oh yeah, so excited to be back, and I just felt like pre-season went on forever, and you just wanted to get to the real action. So yeah, we're back, and it's some interesting results over the weekend.
Talking of which, I'll put the running order on. There you go. And you'll notice I've put in some silly quims. Because that's just how I roll these days. Talking of football, I mean, to me, it doesn't feel like it's actually started yet. I don't know whether that was because we played Friday night or what. It just, it just doesn't feel like the season started. But I've got two comments. Hello, Tommy. You all right? And then Yamin, thanks for joining us. And how are you? I'm fine. Mark?
I'm good. Thank
There you
you.
go.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks for asking. What else have I got? Mark, have you still taking donations?
I can do if someone wants to donate. I just need to extend the dates on the giving page. So, but very grateful. Thank you very much. But yeah, if someone wants to donate, then just let me know and I'll extend the dates.
I was just going to plug it, that's all. I was going to put it on bottom for a little bit. That's because if you're new to the show, Mark is the nuttiest person on the planet. I'm fine, Tommy. Do you enjoy SummerSlam? I'm guessing you did. And yeah, Mark is a nutter. He cycled from Luton. Well, technically it's Milton Keynes, but we'll say Luton. To every away ground last season. And raised money and awareness for some, were it 3 charities? It were Mind.
Yeah, so basically it was for Calm, campaign against liver miserably, for prostate cancer, and for Keach Hospice, which is a hospice in Luton, and raised nearly £16,000.
Bloody hell. Well worth it though. Just going along bottom is your Just Giving page. We will put the link in the description as well. But yeah, 16 grand, that's a lot of money. But you feel glad that you did it now, don't you?
Yeah, it was just a great experience, and it's raised a load of money, raised a lot of awareness, and yeah, it was just a brilliant experience. Obviously, that was last season, and
Are you doing any this season?
The strange experience of going to games on the coach, in the car, on the train, and just not having to cycle there. So,
you mean you're not cycling to Sunderland?
I might cycle to some games just for the fun of it. But yeah, definitely not cycling to Burnley on Saturday.
Talking of which, do we have to still my team first.
Yeah,
Um,
you're the first one. So let's get your thoughts on the game.
Thomas says, yes, I did. Thanks for asking. Laquan's coming with, yes, lads. Oravath Isabala. I don't know if I've said that right. And welcome, Laquan. What team you support? I support Huddersfield Town. And the man, also known as Mad Hatter, Mark, is a Luton Town fan. Thanks for asking. So, yeah, do we have to talk about it? I mean, I really don't want to. We were
Yes,
pathetic.
let's hear your thoughts.
We was pathetic. So started the season as we ended last season on a low. It were a joke. It's just nuts how it went. You know, we were riding high of last season. You know, we were, you know, finalists. We had a good team. We had a good manager, and then this season, out of nowhere, it's like total opposite. I mean, I know it's the first game, and I know it were against Premier League opposition, or former Premier League opposition, but like we should have been up for it. We should have been, you know what I mean?
Did I see posts that your fans were booing your own team on the first game of the season, or was that wrong?
No, apparently there was booing the team, but me personally, think it was more towards the referee because it was shocking. Laquan says got a clean sheet in his first game. Ah, right, okay, that's Forest. Right, okay. Bowler could be coming to us alongside Dennis. Okay. Yeah, so there was booing, and I thought it were towards the referee because he had a nightmare. It were like, I don't know. But having said that, it was slight bias in my opinion as well. So, you know, I'm not going to lie. But Town's Town were just shocking. We had two games over two shots over 90 minutes, and not one of them went on target. Burnley just came out and as if to say, right, we're going to batter you, and they did. I did. England's just scored. Get in. Um, I thought Burnley turned up to show, you know, that they shouldn't be in this league, which, to be fair, I don't think they should be. You know, they're a quality side.
Were they really good, or were you just poor, or was it a combination of both?
Combination both. First half, we just did not turn up at all. They made us look like a Sunday league team at best. And second half, we made some changes, and it sort of opened up the game a bit better. We were miles better at second half. First half, we just wrote it off. It was like they were still on holiday. It was like they were still in Portugal or wherever they went pre-season. You know what I mean? So, but it were terrible. Two shots all game from Huddersfield Town's point of view. Burnley turned up. They looked like a team what had been together for a while. They looked like they're all settled in, and they've made some changes. You know, they've brought in some players, so it wasn't like the team what came down. You know what I mean? So, but Burnley did turn up. They took the chances. If it wasn't for Nichols, that game would have been a hell of a lot worse than it actually was. Laquan, Simon, did you boo your players off? No, I didn't personally. I didn't boo. I got up after the 90th minute and just left. I didn't clap them off because they were pathetic, and that's what I do. I stay until the final whistle's gone, and then I just leave if they've played rubbish or stay behind and clap them off. That's how I show my being a fan. Don't know about you, Mark.
Yeah, I always I'll stay to the end. Even in the years where we were shocking, I just find it very divisive. If you're booing them during the game, it doesn't help them. Can't see how it would help them during the game to play better. We as fans are entitled to our opinion. We pay our money, but yeah, I don't think it helps. It helps them booing them. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no. If you don't agree with what's going on at your club, I'm one of these what is like protest. Do it before the game. Don't interrupt the game.
Yeah.
Unlike next team, we're going to talk about in a second. They actually got a match abandoned because of a protest, and it were against us, funnily enough. And town fans did a mark, were cycled there, and they didn't get any refunds or nothing. They didn't get a donation from the club to say sorry. They were cycling for penny for pounds or whatever. Cycle for pedal for pounds, and they were raising money for various charities at the time. And that's Blackpool. Blackpool won. Reading nil. I mean, Reading seemed to be on a downfall already.
Well, I mean, if you just look at the stats alone, and sometimes stats can be misleading, but I mean, Reading had slightly more possession. They had more shots than Blackpool. So it seems like they were in the game, but obviously they lost to the odd goal. Which was scored after 10 minutes. So yeah, 1-0 to Blackpool. I think first game of the season, everyone wants to
To
get
be
off.
fair, he can't really go off the first game.
No,
Don't matter what result you get, you clearly don't want to lose and to lose like 3-4-0 or something, obviously. But you don't want to set off the season where you're just like, oh, this is going to be a long season. But Blackpool seem to just outplay them from what I've seen and what I've heard.
okay.
But they scored. That's the main thing. They're off to a flying
Yeah,
start.
I mean, I've got sort of strong thoughts on the first game of the season, and basically players are gelling together. You don't, as much pre-season as you have, you don't get your sharpness probably until about 4 or 5 league games. So how some supporters judge their team's season after the first game is a bit baffling. But anyway, that's
It's like checking the league after the first game. Like, why? It just don't make
yeah,
sense. They might as well just put out a league table after Christmas because that's when it's
yeah,
more important. You know what I mean? Where it's
yeah.
halfway through, everyone knows what's going on, how the team's performing, and you know what I mean? There'll be about 5 manager changes for Watford by then. So,
Hopefully, yeah.
so yeah, it's difficult to judge on the first game. Let's just hope everyone changes and it turns into a better season for everyone else.
Yeah.
So next up, Hull 2, Annie FC 1. Late winner for Hull FC, I do believe, as well. Annie will not be impressed.
Well, I mean, it was a surprise because according to Naismith, they've got the best manager in the league.
Well,
So
according to some people,
yeah, well, I mean, Bristol City were winning with 20 minutes to go, and then they conceded a late goal. So yeah, and it's I tipped Hull City to struggle this year just because the Turkish owners, and they just seem to be buying a load of Turkish players. Not that that's
A bad thing.
a bad thing, but yeah, I just thought they would struggle. But you first game of the season and you win from losing with 20 minutes to go, it's happy days.
It look early signs are there for them to be a dark horse, in my opinion, with
Oh,
what
right,
they've brought in. But that's just me.
Yeah, I
Not,
mean, I think you'd expect more often than not, you'd expect the home team to have more possession. So they had 55% possession, and sort of like marginal improved shot count. So yeah, it's a good start for Hull, and they'll be happy with that to come from behind, basically.
and Bristol doing what they normally do and losing. Just to dig at Annie there,
Well, they're
just to
they're
get
gonna
him to.
win. They're going to win the league according to Annie. So
Well, who would have thought Forest would start off with six? What it 6 or 7
they were bottom after
defeats?
7 games, weren't they?
Yeah, 7 defeats, and then they go up fifth, from fifth
Yeah.
position, which is strange. But anyway, moving swiftly on to Brenton Diaz as Barmy Army.
I think, from what I remember, I think Blackburn are a bit of a bogey team for QPR. QPR starting with a new manager that's never managed. It's come from like reserve positions. And what we've
To
got to bear in
me,
mind for all these teams is there's still a month of the transfer window to go.
to me,
So
QPR with an unknown manager could be a good thing for them. Like, not being funny, but do you know anything about Carlos Cabron before he came to Huddersfield? Because I didn't,
no,
you
no,
know.
yeah, I'm not.
So,
I think it will be a bit of transition for him to being
and
as
like you said,
it's
there's a month left at transfer, so
yeah.
could be time to bring some players in. Talking of players, Huddersfield need a striker. Danny Ward on his own is not the best. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be interesting. Like with a month to go, because you've lost probably your 2 best players, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I don't really know a lot about the Blackburn QPR game. It seemed like it was a fairly even game, but I noticed QPR didn't have a single shot on target, so that's as much as, like I said, stats are misleading. When you don't have a shot on target, I think it's it's been a bit of a struggle in the game, but obviously win for Blackburn and they move on.
That's it. Talking of moving on, Cardiff against Norwich. Cardiff won 1-0, and from just having a quick summary here, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Cardiff players getting booked. 1 for Norwich, but then the Norwich player what got booked got sent off on the 85th minute for a second yellow, and one of the players for Cardiff got a second yellow on the 73rd, so they both finished with 10 men. Norwich had the better goals on the shots on it. And put my teeth
Shots
back
on
in. 2
target.
seconds. Shots on target, shot goal attempts, they had 6, whereas Cardiff had 3. Shots on goal, Cardiff got 2 out, and Norwich only had 1. So they need
I
to
know
learn
it's
how
first
to
game of the
target
season.
practice.
Yeah, I know it's first game of the season, but I suppose that was a bit of a surprise. But then, like I said, well, it's not until 10 games where it all settles down, and I suppose like if you're away, you just don't want to lose.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the first game. I don't care what anyone says, you don't want to lose the first game. And just it's football. It happens like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking of Norwich, though, they have got 6 players out injured, and that's before end of, they've got one of the better defenders out injured, Sam Byram. So we'll see. I
I
reckon they'll
suppose
still be up there.
as players go through pre-season, that's when you probably get your niggles. It's not like injuries later in the season where you sort of you're just basically picking up injuries because of the schedule. It's more the little niggles as players come through pre-season. So
Yeah, well, coming back to it, they haven't really. They won't have done much over the period off, would they? You know what I mean?
no,
They would have been pigging out, drinking, just chilling, relaxing generally, and then coming back to full training sessions, it'll be taking its toll on them. And I
yeah.
know football's about a squad, not a. So they've got players to cover. I'm not making excuses for Yo-Yo. I mean Norwich. I keep calling him Yo-Yo. I do apologise. Not making excuses, but 6 out before your first game. Anyway, moving swiftly on to your team versus Brum.
Well, to say they're our bogey team is probably a bit of an understatement. They obviously battered us 5-0 and 3-0 last season. But then Birmingham have been in a bit of a turmoil like over the summer. I think they came for a point. If you think that the referee pulled their captain over after 24 minutes and pointed all over the pitch where they were time wasting, that was after 24 minutes. You sort of get the feeling that they were coming for a point, and happy days they'd have been happy with a point. Yes, it was frustrating, but there's a few comments on social media but positives. Luke Freeman, brilliant debut. If we can keep him fit, what a player we got. We created basically half chances. Birmingham, the only time they looked dangerous was from corners, set plays. And basically, there's one team that was basically trying to force the issue and trying to force a result, and that was us. We had 14 goal attempts, but really, hardly any clear-cut chances. But yeah, I mean, the players are getting the sharpness. They're sort of blending into the formation and systems. And yes, we have a point. If, 0-0's better than 5-0 from last year. So
I mean, I'd take it.
yeah, I mean, I still think Birmingham are a poor team that will struggle this year, but
I still think they'll go down.
yeah, but it's
Definitely.
a point. It's a point we move on, and a special mention to a Luton fan, Matt Westwood. So his son was mascot, but he's got cancer and probably be or might be the last time he gets to see Luton. The club were just unbelievable. They got into the training on Friday. Him and his family got to meet all the team, and
Didn't Snodgrass do something for him?
yes, a Snodgrass message saying he's got some boots and shirts from the playoffs that he wanted to have, which is a great gesture. And then we had a minute's applause in the 35th minute, which is his age. So just basically puts everything into perspective when people are moaning about not winning a football game when there's bigger things to worry about. And yeah, just thoughts to Matt and his family, and yeah. So yeah, that's all I really want to say about our game.
No, and from us all here, as far as go out to his family. So, but it's nice when you read about former players or people in general, like Snodgrass doing that for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he
Lovely.
was. I spoke to him a couple of times last season. He's just a genuine nice guy, and he was only on loan last year, so he didn't have a long affiliation with our club. But he's just a genuinely decent, nice guy, and it was a nice gesture to reach out. So well done to Snoddy.
It's always been nice, though, Snodgrass. I'll talk off air, but he sorted something out for my brother and that. So, yeah, touching subject at the moment, but it's nice for players to do that. So,
Yeah,
next up, fucking Millwall against Stoke. Millwall off to a flyer, 2-0.
yeah, 2-0, and yeah, not really a lot. I don't know what else to say. I haven't seen the goals. That's it. I mean, shot count 13 shots to 4. I think it shows that Millwall dominated the game. So I always wondered how Millwall would do. They lost Jed Wallace, and I think they had a strong end to the season, but just not basically not enough to get into the playoffs. So I think they're looking to build on the momentum from almost from January onwards, and try and start that momentum early on in the season. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yep. I've got not to really add there other than Criswell scored both goals. Assist from Honeyman and assist from Scotty Malone. So next up, Paiters. Wigan versus Preston North End. Now, Wigan to me have always been Paiters. It all stems back to their rugby league team, Wigan Warriors. So hence reason why my little name change in the chat thing underneath. So, but it's Wigan 0, Preston 0. Not a bad start by Wigan. First game in the Championship in, I do believe, about 5-6 years now. So, yeah, I haven't really got much to add to that. So we'll move on to Rotherham. Rotherham 1, Swansea 1.
If ever you're going to call a club a yo-yo, I think Rotherham deserve that tag.
See, I was going to name them yo-yo, but it's Norwich is more yo-yo. They're always going up and they're always coming back down season
Yeah,
after. It's like, what is the point? If I were a Norwich fan, I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna just support Ipswich for next season. At least I'd get somewhere different. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, everyone's predicting that Swansea are going to be up there, so on that basis, it's a good point for Rotherham.
Yeah, very good point for Rotherham. And Rotherham are definitely a yo-yo club. They seem to do one or two seasons in Championship quite well, and then following that third season or second season, they drop down to League One, and it's the comfort zone. I think League One Championship borderline is reasonably where they should sit, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But it's like our league, like it's the best league in the world. Don't get me wrong, but teams going up from this league to the Premier League, we're just miles below everyone else in that level, and I mean miles below. Don't matter if you look at Fulham, how much they spent on last few seasons of being in Premier League, and all that money just doesn't even help them stay up for one season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
yet they can outplay any team in our league. It's weird. So anyway, moving on. Middlesbrough 1, going down under Bruce 1. Oh,
I
sorry, West Brom.
I actually, I mean, it's actually an entertaining game. I mean, Middlesbrough looked so good first half, but then West Brom came into it, and I know you don't like Bruce, but I just think West Brom are going to be a force this year in terms of they've got Jed Wallace, they signed a few other good players, and they had Daryl DK, who was out injured all of last year. I think he's going to be a handful. So I expect West Brom to be competing for the playoffs at least. And yeah, I think, and I think Middlesbrough will do well as well. Wilder knows how to get promoted. So I think they're both teams that will do well this year. And it seemed like a quality game with
I'll change it.
draw being a fair result.
I'll change it to do nothing under Bruceson. There you go. But yeah, no. From what I've seen, like you say, fair result. They're both looking sharp. And yes, I have got my knives out for Bruce. I don't like him. He signed like 5 or 6 players on 10-year contracts or something daft whilst they were in charge of Huddersfield and never did out with them. You know, just all that money getting sucked out of the club for no apparent reason, on verge of going out of existence because of a stupid board, stupid management at the time. So, yeah, I have got my knives out a bit for Steve Bruce. I can't stand him. I prefer his son, Alex, but that's because of a different matter. So, yeah. Right, next one. I've got a picture for this next one. You want to see it? So, it's this club. I don't know. There it is. Louis FC 1, Coventry 1. And just to prove that he loves them that much, he's got a phone case with Sunderland Till I Die on, haven't you, Louis? This is last game before Monday night one. So I'd just like to say, if you've liked what you've seen tonight, we do normally do a better analysis, but with it being first one back and people are on holiday, we haven't really, you know. But if you like what you see, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe. It costs you naff all. And I will say follow, which our details are now going along the bottom. But yeah, so last game is Sunderland FC 1, Coventry 1. Thoughts?
I didn't see the game, but
Back end.
I think if a draw at home to Coventry, bear in mind how well Coventry did last season. I know it's a late-ish equaliser from Coventry, but I think if you offered that to most genuine Sunderland fans that have taken that. But yeah, it's just we'll see how Sunderland do. If you believe some people, they've already handed them the trophy.
No, that's just Sky Sports' opinion.
Yeah, it's whereas I always think that it's such a big gap from the League One to the Championship. Obviously, Sunderland have got the back in. They've sold millions of season tickets, so
they've always been one of those clubs for me. What's always had a big crowd, no matter how crap they're doing.
Yeah,
they've always had a big crowd. It's a big town. They haven't got much to do in Sunderland other than on a Saturday afternoon go watch football. You know,
yeah.
I think that's
I
a
don't
fair
think.
assumption of Sunderland.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get dragged into any relegation battle, but I think if someone offered them mid-table, they should be grateful for that because it's tough. The Championship is a tough league. I mean, it took them 5 years to get out of League One, so
Yeah, to be fair though, League One's a tough league as well. I mean, as you well know yourself, like with Luton, it's not an easy task. We were there for good
Yeah,
number of seasons
yeah,
before we came
definitely.
back
But
up. So
as the league as it settles down and we sort of get up, like give it 4 or 5 weeks, then we'll sort of see who we think might be doing well. But I wouldn't pay any attention to the league table before a dozen games at least.
no, I like I say, I don't even generally, other than when I have to do bits on here for sure with the league table. I don't generally look at the league table until after Christmas. It's
Yeah,
to me, it's pointless because you know after Christmas, you've got certain many games left, and right, this is where it really begins, as in every point counts, sort of thing.
yeah, and this year's going to be different because obviously with the World Cup, there's going to be a month like.
Yeah, what are we going to do with that? I mean, it's going to be really strange.
And also, I mean, obviously it's for nearer the time, but it's how do teams hit the ground running when they've had a month of no games? I mean, we had that last year because of COVID. We had a month without games, so but yeah, anyway, that's all adds to the season. So
It's going to be a weird season for any team. It's going to be weird because teams like Sunderland won't be used to an international break. They'll be like, hold on, why are we twiddling our thumbs here? Surely we should be playing at Luton. You know what I mean? Something like that. And yo-yo teams like Norwich and Rotherham, they'll be like grateful for it. I don't know. But it's one game out of 48 going off the results this weekend. Who's your team of the week? For me, I'll have
ooh,
to say Millwall because of the only team to win 2-0.
I
Plus,
mean,
with the signings Stoke have made recently, I know they haven't gelled just yet, but it's the team Stoke, which is a good team. So,
I mean, obviously, like you said, it's the first game of the season, but I think for Cardiff beating Norwich, I think that was a big result. There wasn't really high expectation coming from Cardiff, and obviously Norwich have come down from the Premiership, so I've
yeah, but
got
for
no
me,
complaints about Millwall. I just think it was, or maybe the fact that Hull have come from behind. Yeah, it's very difficult because
I will. No, you've just hit the nail on end. They came from behind and won 2-1 in end. I'll give it to Hull.
excellent.
That
That'll please Annie.
and it's gonna be loving us come end of month when he's back.
I think as the season progresses, and you sort of that's when you sort of see form like who the form teams are, and if they lose to someone at the bottom, then that's easier to have a team of the week. So yeah, we'll give it to Hull.
Yeah, we'll give it all. Like we say, it's first game in. Just nitpicking at this point, aren't we? To be fair,
So who have you got next week?
we have got Birmingham at Birmingham on the Friday night again. We haven't played a
Again?
we haven't played a Saturday game yet.
You on TV again next Friday?
I don't know whether we're on TV or not, but
Okay.
I I will look into that 2 seconds. Uh, but they've moved it to Friday because of the Commonwealth Games, apparently.
Yeah, you're not on TV. It's just because of the Commonwealth Games, isn't it?
TV schedule, I'll do. So
Yeah, that would make
it doesn't
sense.
say out here. But yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. We could be on TV, I suppose. You never know.
Ah.
In fact, oh, why don't I just go on sky.com? It'll be much easier, won't it? Sky Sports Championship Fixtures. Ow.
No, because the reason it's not on is because it's Palace Arsenal. It's the first Friday night game of the Premiership.
There you go then. So they've got the some Saturday first game is Norwich Wigan. Like Norwich need any more fucking TV rights. They're on at about 15 bloody
Yeah,
times
well,
already.
Fulham Liverpool's on TV Saturday lunchtime, so maybe that's the BT one. But anyway, we don't need to worry because we're not on TV.
Fair enough. Right, well, I will put your link across again if you'd like to donate. It's there. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Mark.
My pleasure. It's always good to chat to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And
We've not
same
had
to you.
we've not had any questions, have we, about the weekend?
No, no, we've had just look one saying town need a striker, and did you seriously boo off your players?
Right.
So no, we haven't had any questions. To be honest, we haven't had many in this week. So I think people are on holiday at the moment, aren't they? So, or they could be watching England-Germany game on BBC.
I'm sure we'll get comments next weekend about Forest.
Oh, believe you me, well, I've been having him all bloody summer. I'm fed up of hearing about him, man. Plus, on top of that, the Stoller's best two players. It's like, okay, fair enough. Now, fuck off. Leave us alone. Can't we just get on with it? And then,
it's all good. It's all good fun.
Oh yes, especially with lads on here, who come on and help us out. It's appreciative. So yeah. On that note, thank you very much. If you want to follow us,
have a good week, and same time next week.
Unfortunately for us sins, yes. If you liked what you've seen, again, it's a bit of a different one. It's the first one. We do get better weeks. Once we've all back together, it gets better. But if you've liked what you've seen, give it a quick like. Give us a subscription if you don't mind. It costs you nothing. And if you want to follow us, all our socials are along the bottom. And enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Peace out.
Bye.